Hi, I'm Nate Bauer with AM Leonard, and today we're visiting one of our local partners in Groveport, Ohio, Decker's Nursery. Mike, today we've come to talk about a couple of specific products that you use from us, and one of them is Florican. And I guess I'd like to hear maybe how you came to use Florican and what you used before Florican.
Well, we started using Florican full-time this year was our first full year of it. Last year we did some trials with it. Previous to this we used a product called Diffusion. It was a polymer-coated slow-release fertilizer. Before that, we've used Osmocote. I've used a couple of other polymer-coated fertilizers. And the reason we moved to Florican is I was having some problems getting a consistent product with Diffusion and some other products that I was getting. It seemed to be one year it was there, next year the name changed, or vice versa, or product changed, distributors changed. And Florican, we had a good trial with it, and it proved this year to be really, really good product for us. And moving forward, I'm kind of excited to have something I can hopefully just keep using and not have to worry about changing. It's lent itself really well for us this year. And long and short, I mean, this year, fertilizer is always something that you don't really notice it until it's not working right. And so it's always a kind of a lost product until somebody realizes it's missing. And this year was, we used our irrigation percent, we were up 30% in irrigation, record temperatures in Columbus, and Florican for the most part held up, and it did its job better than what I was really expecting.
So how would you rate it from 1 to 10?
I never give anything a 10.
Right. Well,
just because it's, perfect is always something that we always try for. I'd give it a 7 to an 8. I was very satisfied. It was above board, well above average, and I think it did more than what I was expecting it to. So
would you recommend it to another grower?
Yeah, actually, I would recommend it. Every grower has a different style of using fertilizers. You talk to one grower, you talk to 4 growers, you'll get 12 different ideas about fertilizer usage. So it's always a person by person specific, and I think Florican's done a great job. Chad's come up a couple of times and met with me, and I've talked to him on the phone. We're going to have questions. Certain releases that I was having. He helped me with do some EC readings and understand, make sure I was still getting some releases in the fall. And so he worked with Chad really well, and that's always a good product. That's always a good sign of a good product when people are standing behind it. Yeah, I would definitely recommend people to use it, try it out, and work it into their systems and see how it performs, because I think it outperformed anything that I've had yet.
So you use Florican a lot. How do you apply it? Is it mixed in? Do you top dress? And if you do, what do you use to top dress?
We use two different methods. Basically, we incorporate whenever we're potting. From February 1st when we start potting, pretty much up till September, we'll incorporate our slow-release fertilizer in the mix. So that's pretty a simple one. I mean, obviously they're mixing the batches up because we mix all of our soils in-house. So as they're mixing it up, that gets added in. Now, top dressing. Anything that gets spaced in the spring, we target by April 1st to have our entire nursery uncovered and spaced and fertilized. Now, that's our target, whether it happens or not, April 1st, April 15th. But by that time, then we're top dressing everything that we have sitting. And we have 2 different applicators. One's an old style, and I hate to say it's like a steel gun style. Now, we also use the Green Elf, which with Florican works excellent because the Elf is it's electronically read, weighed out measurement. But the problem you have to have is you have to have 100% coated prills because the iron in it actually messes with the solenoids. So that's one reason. Well, it's another reason why Florican worked really well for us is we can use the Green Elf. It's 100% coated, and I can fly through the nursery with that. So I guess that's another benefit of the Florican, and one of the other reasons we went for it. So.
Hey Mike, you've actually got us in one of your greenhouses that you're using vinegar plastics. What brought you to vinegar, and did you use anything before that?
Actually, I can't remember the supplier we used before vinegar. We've used vinegar now for, I think it's about 4 or 5 years with this product, and it's been really good. I honestly can't remember the name of this product we used before. But the reason we went to vinegar is we could get the size plastic we want. The problem I was having with my previous supplier was I had to live within, this house is very uniform in structure. At our other facility, we actually have like 3 or 4 different sizes. I need a 24, I need a 28, I need a 42, I need a 50 foot wide. Because we have like a hodgepodge of houses that we've built. And this is a 50 foot wide piece of poly here. So this is pretty standard, but when we were at the other place, everything I was buying had to be within their parameters, and their parameters continually changed. So it made it confusing for the guys when they'd go get the plastic to go fill the houses up, whether we were getting a 42 foot wide or 45 foot wide, or was it a 48 foot wide, and was it this mill, was it that mill, how many did I have to buy for this size to get this millage? It got to be just a hassle. And the reason I ended up going with vinegar was the price was competitive, and I could get the sizes. I want a 200 foot long by 45 foot wide, that's what I get. If I want a 275 foot long by 45, I get it. If I want a 10 foot wide by 300 foot long, I can get that plastic. And the price is competitive. And if that makes, if the price is competitive and I can get what I want, and it makes it streamlined and simple for the guys putting stuff on, that's the reason. That was the major reason why we started with it, and it's held up a lot.
What are some of the different applications that you use?
Well, we use poly in a lot of different areas. I mean, this is a double inflated house here, so this is a 3 mil plastic. We have the roll up sides. Now in the spring, we'll actually start rolling these sides up, and we'll maintain the top plastic on. Now the double layers, so we have a clear on the inside, white on the out. About April 15th, when light actually starts really getting hot, plants start growing. We'll take the outside layer off. So we say have a white house, a clear house at that point in time. We'll strap it down, and then we kind of just created a small little greenhouse for ourselves. And then we'll keep this on until May 15th, June 1st. It helps increase the heat, allows the light to come in, and then it also helps us push our plants a little. Now, the other thing we use is we use this plastic in a couple of different areas. We have some heated greenhouses where we'll actually we'll create a house inside a house. And this is where like the different size polys always gets confusing, because we have a house like this, and I'll put a sheet of poly on top of the rafters above the irrigation but below the actual house structure. And that's like 24 foot wide. And then I'll put a piece of poly over here and a piece of poly on that side. And it helps us create it's a greenhouse within a greenhouse within a greenhouse. When you're, when you're heating the greenhouse in the middle of the winter, and last winter was a nice mild winter. Hey, no big deal. 2 winters ago, when we're, setting record low temperatures, it creates a house within a house. Saves us money.
Customize the temperature you need.
Yeah.
Throughout.
And then what it allows us also to do is we have these other layers inside of layers. It allows us to vent them. And so we have the outside layer, which we never touch, and then we'll start taking off the inside layer. As you come out of winter, we'll put holes in it so it vents. And then, further out of winter you come, you get into early spring, you take that out totally. And so it allows us to take a house and to transform it into a different house throughout different parts of the year, but then change it back to the house the way it was.
Okay. So vinegar has performed well. I mean, the last winter it's pretty mild.
Yep.
But what are some of the most rigorous weather conditions that it's been through?
Well, we've actually had a couple of different instances where we had our actual houses give way before the plastic gave way.
Really?
Yeah. We have a 300 foot long, 45 foot wide piece of poly, and the 2x4 running along the edge. Now these are 2x6s, but at the other 2x4s, and we'd go out and a bad night of 50 mile an hour winds. You'd go out and we'd have this piece of poly just flapping in the breeze, and we always thought we thought first thing the poly gave way, and then no, you realize the 2x4 is actually attached to the side of the poly. It's the 2x4 that gave way, and the plastic's still sitting there holding on. So, actual wind temperature or wind speeds, I couldn't give that to you, but it was enough to break it.
So you get a little peace of mind there, knowing that poly's probably not going to get
Yeah. I mean, we have had a couple pieces of plastic that did go. You guys stood right behind it and took care of that, and that's more or less. Nothing's perfect, back to that. But for the most part, we've had no problems with it. We get the right millage on a house and having to make sure it stands.
We're really excited about this new product that Vinegar is putting on, Wintering Plus. And we understand that you're going to try some this winter.
Yeah, we actually have one house in our nursery that basically sits all the way on the west, runs north and south. So it's 325 foot long. So basically, it's the brunt of our winter winds. So, and I have it on there, and I'm excited about it. It's a weight of a 4 mil poly or a 3 mil poly, but it gets a much stronger usage out of it, which I see has some real great applications for us in some of these larger houses that we do, the 300 foot long, 325 foot long. or a 5 mil poly or a 6 mil poly is what I need to make it through, but it's just so heavy when we really put it on, as well as the thickness, using polylock and everything like that. So yeah, we haven't had any data yet. We've had it on for about 6-7 weeks now, but I'm excited about the idea of being able to have a lighter mill poly with a stronger mill weight.
Would you recommend getting rid of other growers?
Yeah. I mean, the people I've talked to, I've passed your guys' name along. I've passed Candy Girl along. I've been happy and I've been satisfied with it. You guys, any issues we've had in the past, you guys have taken care of, and so I think that's all we can really ask for.
Well, thanks, Mike, for having us out, showing us around. It's been great. We learned a lot. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you guys for coming.
A.M. Leonard, experience what thousands of other horticultural professionals already know. Great tools, great service, great value.